Jane Velez-MItchell for Jane Unchained, and I am so honored and delighted to have with me today from Tel Aviv. You are watching a live broadcast. I'm in Los Angeles. This gentleman's in Tel Aviv, Alon Hochberg, who is the CEO of BillionVegans.com, which is the new Amazon for vegan products. Tell us all about BillionVegans.com, Alon, and how it got started.
Well, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started 5 companies before that. I still am a programmer. I like engineering and software. And 2 years ago, I have 6 kids. 2 of them are walking on 4. And I was a carnivore my whole life. And accidentally, I saw a movie about the dog eating festival in China, in Yulin, and I became vegan in like 60 seconds. The coin dropped. I understood the content, the connection between dogs and the rest of the animal kingdom, and I was shocked. And the day afterwards, I threw all my leather, all my wool clothes, all my cosmetics, and I started from scratch, like a newborn. And it took me months to replace all my clothes, all my cosmetics, my dog food, my own nutrition, my family nutrition. And it was a really long journey because I had to go read the fine print, make contact with the sellers to verify that the products are actually vegan. And the thing that actually was the trigger was that I bought shoes from Amazon that said that they were vegan. And when I got it, it was made in China. I looked into it for a couple of days, and I learned that the glue was made out of pig's bones. Oh. And I was shocked. And at that day, I decided that as an entrepreneur, I want to create a place where I can go and safely buy anything I want to my home, anything I want, with the complete assurance that it's vegan, it's being certified, all the way to the production, to the delivery, to all the processes involved. And this is what I did. So a year ago, we started, a bit more than a year. It took us like 8 or 9 months to onboard the sellers. People thought that it will take us much longer than that, but most of the sellers are actually vegan themselves. So they were happy to join us in our mission. And a few months ago, we started, we got like almost 5,000 products, 200 sellers, and we started selling, and the sales soars. The community really embraces us, really appreciate what we do. We take every product through a really rigorous process of verifying the ingredients. We're contacting the sellers. They have to commit and sign that these products are vegan, that they will notify us if anything with the product will change. And actually, personally, I'm really into sustainability and fair trade, and we wanted to include everything in the platform. But we decided to go initially with vegan, and later on add notifications or labels or information about the fair trade and sustainability issues as well.
Well, first of all, if you ever see me looking down, it is because, and please lower your volume on your phone if you've got it on. It's because I am sharing this, and I urge everyone to share this video and ask questions, because we need to achieve a vegan world by 2026 if we want to avoid catastrophic climate change. We are destroying all the habitats, we are destroying wildlife, and we all have to get involved in creating a vegan world. I just was at Vegan World 2026, which is a conference and a whole program. It's coming actually to Israel. It is going to be in Israel in February, so I hope you go and become a part of it, because we need to create this network, and it's essentially a virtual vegan world that knows no national boundaries, where all consumers who are kind and who want to be able to consume without being destructive, without killing, without torturing, and without contributing to climate change, pollution, or human world hunger can get involved. So when I heard about vegan vegans, and I've had very similar experiences as the one you mentioned, ordering something that was billed as vegan and then finding out there's some product that's not vegan. And, you know, it has really, really upset me and frustrated me. So I love the idea that you're creating this platform where you can vet things, and people who will then buy on Billion Vegans will know 100% that this is a vegan product. So let me ask you, there's something you have on your website called Invest in a Company That Shares Your Values. How can people invest in Billion Vegans, and where is it at this point in its stage of development, Elon?
Cool. A couple of things. First of all, the name Billion Vegans came from billion vegans in a decade, the whole world in two. That was our vision initially. So we totally aligned, and we are devoting our lives actually to make it happen. The platform is working. The marketplace is up and running. We're selling, again, the sales source. Initially, from day one, my intention was to have the community in which we were born from, and driven by, and serve the community, our community. I wanted the community to own a big portion in the company. Again, I'm coming from a bit of a socialist house, and I thought that this is the case. And again, all my life I was some kind of a capitalist with all the high tech and all the exits and stuff. And I thought that this is classic case for the community to own the marketplace that serves them. And I will touch upon it afterwards. So initially we thought of doing it, but it's impossible to do because of regulations. We thought actually to give share to every customer that buys on our site, but it wasn't possible. So about a month ago, we encountered the equity crowdfunding according to the new Jobs Act, which allows actually like a public offering to everybody. And we went through this path, and it's SEC regulated really thoroughly. And we launched about a month ago, and we enable every person in our community across the globe, it's not limited to the US only, to buy shares in the company. So in order to do that, we actually lower the valuation of the company and enable people to invest as low as $100. It's really uncommon, but we wanted people to have shares in the company, to feel that it's theirs. And then we're going to create a group for investors that are going to be heard, going to be driving the company. And that's why we call it actually a community marketplace. It's built by the community, for the community, by vegans. And when we mention people that share the same value as ours, it's exactly the case that the company was born out of our needs. And this is our core values. And this is the DNA we want to develop. And by the way, one of the things that really curve on our flag is what we call vegan-to-vegan service. It means that it's not like getting customer service when something happened. It's while you're on the site and have questions about ingredients, about alternatives, you're going to talk with a person which is vegan, which will know your name. And you know, when I started, again, I have my two dogs, my two daughters, and when I'm going in the boulevard with walking them, and I see a person that actually walks with the dog and loves them, immediately I feel like a connection. I think he's a good guy. It's like, and if I see somebody that actually cruel to his dog, it makes me furious. So I think that there is a lower common denominator among us vegans that we should work together. And another word on this, I feel because I'm a newbie, what you call newbie in vegans.
Well, you're doing really good. Let me tell you, for a newbie, you just started a massive company. That is unbelievable. I think it's incredible. You're getting so many thumbs up from so many people watching. saying yay. The idea that you not only instantly went vegan after seeing what happens to animals, but then you proceeded to create billionvegans.com, which is, to me, absolutely exciting. Everybody is so excited. Now, people are saying, I can't wait, but it's already there. You can go to billionvegans.com right this second and order products. Can you tell me how many products you have? And of course, one of the reasons why people shop on Amazon, to be quite frank, is that it's cheap and it arrives quickly. Those are the two, I think, main criteria that people use when deciding. I mean, I've found myself, ending up ordering on Amazon because it's quick and it's convenient and it's cheap. How are you dealing with those issues?
First of all, price-wise, we are as Amazon or lower because we are less sensitive to prices. Absolutely. Again, the thing is about marketplace, and that's how we can grow very fast, that every seller can actually upload his own products out there and start selling. And the idea is that, again, one of our main missions is to promote small sellers, small business owners that are vegan, that have products or services. I think it's crucial, local stuff. And that's how we can actually grow very fast. But regarding to prices, because our commission is very low, because we are not really into being aggressive price-wise, so our price is going to be as low as Amazon's. In regards to ship, yeah, absolutely. And again, one of the things that we ask our customers, we actually tell them, if you find this product online cheaper, tell us. We will negotiate with the seller, because the sellers are actually dictating the prices. We will negotiate with them and lower the price, even to the point where we're going to lose initially, because we care about our colleagues, our members, and not about doing huge amount of money and do nothing with it. And this is about the price. Shipment-wise, again, you can't fight with Amazon about it, but we are now in negotiations with a few companies in the US that are going to provide us with the shipments as fast as Amazon's. And it will probably take about 2 or 3 months. The idea is that we want to be, from price, shipment, and service, on par with Amazon. But we have our edge, or our advantages, that everything on the site is vegan, vetted, totally 100% vegan, that we're promoting, again, many sellers that actually don't like Amazon. We get a lot of emails from sellers that told us that they don't want to work with Amazon because of ethics, because again, it's a bit of an evil corporate.
Well, let me just say this. We have a policy here on Jane Unchained. We don't really attack companies. We invite Amazon on anytime, for legal reasons and other reasons. Ultimately, this is a consumer issue, and consumers are the ones, I say, who order the hit. I never blame the workers or the companies, because really, at the end of the day, and I covered crime for many years, if you pick up the phone and you say, take out a hit on so-and-so, and somebody else does your dirty work for you and they kill that victim, you could still be held and accused and convicted of that crime. So I always say, go back to who's ordering the hit. The consumers are ordering the hit. And ultimately, the consumers can make compassionate, kind decisions with the help of companies like yours, Billion Vegans. It makes me so excited. This is kind of like a dream come true for me, because I've been waiting for something like this for so long. When are we going to sort of get out of just the I'm a nonprofit. Jane Unchained News Network is a nonprofit, but we do need to get in our society where money talks. We need to compete in the marketplace. And I'm so excited that you're doing this. Now, let me ask you this question. How about accidentally vegan companies? Because one of the things that I've always wondered, why don't we form allegiances with companies that are not saying, I'm vegan, but they just happen to be vegan? I don't care whether they make rice cakes or they produce peanuts, but there's a heck of a lot of companies. If I walk into a store and I see Planters peanuts and I want peanuts, I'll eat them. It's not a vegan company, but the product is vegan. Are you going to align yourself with these, what I would call accidentally vegan companies, to bring them into the fold, so to speak?
Moreover, a few months ago, we had a big discussion, the company and our customers, about Daya. Daya was a great vegan company, and they were bought by a Japanese company that do and that perform animal testing. And a lot of our customers told us, remove them from the site. And we actually said, listen, guys, we should, again, money talks. Right. And we should teach the manufacturers that vegan businesses going to make them richer. It's actually good for them, for the business. So instead of removing them, we actually want to encourage every seller to start vegan product lines. And by the way, but the thing is that many vegans still don't want to buy that. So what we did on our site, which is quite unique, we identify each product, whether it's been manufactured by the vegan company or also vegan company. So every customer can decide for his own. He can buy things that marked as vegan company and all the products of the company are vegan, or it can be more progressive and buy from the companies that don't do everything vegan.
Yeah, so what you're just saying is total transparency, and I really like your approach. It's the same thing we do with our digital news network for animal rights and the vegan lifestyle. We don't get into the what I would call the internal arguments. We put everything out there. Obviously, there are some exceptions if there's in danger to a human being or an animal, but for the most part, we put everything out there and say, okay, this group's doing this group's doing this. You decide. It's not up for us to play judge and jury on everything. But, obviously we are about veganism. We're not going to promote a product that has a little bit of cheese or a little bit of dairy in it.
Absolutely.
And so, that's I think the way forward. We can't, I always say I'm not trying to convert the world to a word. The word vegan is great, but it's really about having a compassionate world where we stop this insane killing that is happening on a scale never before seen in human history. Now, I want to ask, yeah, go ahead.
No, I said daily. It's a daily Holocaust. It's amazing. It's really bothering. But listen, the thing is that vegans care about the ethics, and we give everybody a choice whether to buy from vegan companies or not, but there are many other things that are important to vegans where, for instance, GMO, palm oil. So what we do, and this is part of our onboarding of a product, we define those things. So a person could get into the site and said, I don't want to have a GMO product. So we click on something, and all the sites are going to show him only things that are non-GMO. So everybody can personalize his own according to his own beliefs, whether it's ethical or health or sustainability. For instance, we're going to have in the future ability to define things that are sustainable. Nothing with plastic going to be presented to a customer that prefers not to see that. The same thing about trade, the same thing about local trade. It's all personalized. And because our movement, our community has so many flavors, we have to give each one his own flavor, not to make people see something they don't want.
Exactly. I think that's a great idea. I mean, I deal with this on a daily basis. We have within the vegan community, we have raw vegans. We have vegans that eat no oil, salt, or sugar. And I think they're called the SOS group. And, I've had people say, you shouldn't have any oil on your show. I said, you know what? We're trying to save animals, not olives. If you don't want to do oil, don't do oil. But actually, I've learned from them and have been cutting down on my oil because I used to just pour it on. And now I realize that, yeah, there's calories in oil. But the point is that within the vegan movement, there are these subsets. And Lisa Heck says, I hope you have a lot of organics. Please make sure the origin of the food is listed. Now, is there going to come a point where, people are asking for so much detail that it becomes impossible? For example, the origin of the products. I mean, how can we, I don't know if that's doable.
We will. Organic is simple. again, there are two levels. One is the declaration of the seller that it's organic, and the other is actually to go and check it. One of the things we want to, in the future, of course, that the community going to be part of us, going to actually go to the plants, to the offices, and check for us. We don't get the word for it. We want our members to go and do that for us, and to look into the plans, to verify that everybody is happy there, that they've been paid well, that the processes are according to our quite strict guideline. But it's possible. Organic is possible. And again, and the things about US-based manufacturers is that they won't play with the law. If they sign up that this product is organic, they won't take the chance of not doing that. That's why we try to, and again, I don't want to, we prefer sellers from manufacturers from the States and Europe in general.
Now, I have a couple of other questions. I know you're a very busy man, so thank you for indulging me. You're in Israel. Israel is the hotbed of veganism. It's right up there with Berlin, London, LA, where I am, New York. I mean, it's really a hub. Why do you think Israel is coming up with so many of these incredible ideas? You've got Billion Vegans, you've got Vegan Nation, which is the vegan cryptocurrency. You've got Clean Meat. You've got 30,000 people who showed up for an animal rights march not so long ago. Why Israel?
The truth is, I have no idea. The thing is that, again, you've been in Israel. People are extremely passionate, extremely outgoing, sometimes very active. And I think that everything we do with a lot of passion. And veganism is about passion. It's about compassion and passion. And I don't know why. And again, and it's actually not the whole Israel. It's more of the bubble of Tel Aviv. And by the way, I'm going to join you in Los Angeles in a few months. I'm going to move there. I was living in Boston for 5 years. I'm very happy in Israel, but I'm an entrepreneur that do everything that is necessary. And for the company to succeed, we have to be in Los Angeles. So we have the headquarters, the offices in Beverly Hills, and I'm going to move there myself and push it from where it's happening. Because again, the veganism in LA is really beautiful. It's so non-intrusive, so like another lifestyle in many other variety of lifestyle. This is the place to be. This is the place where everything going to go to the world.
We are talking to the CEO of Billion Vegans, which is on the road to becoming the Amazon of vegan products. And you can also invest as little as $100 to be part of this. Now, would this be considered a cooperative then?
No, they're going to have shares. The shares have two meanings. One, you get a lot of perks, discounts and stuff, and you be part of the inner circle. You're going to be heard. Your opinions, the products, about the service, everything. And again, I get so many exciting emails and phone calls about suggestions. Some of them are brilliant, and we didn't thought of ourselves. So we increasing the number of people that interested in making it a success. And the other thing is, if and when the company will be very big, whether it's going to be acquired, whether it's going to be a public offering, or just distributing dividends, the people that invested the $100 can get out $1,000 or $10,000. It's a good investment. So it's not like a donation that you do it for the community, and it's absolutely about that. But you can actually gain return on investment.
That's absolutely fantastic. Now, I have a couple of questions to ask you, because I do happen to know a lot of mom and pop vegan companies, and some of them have their own websites. You know how you go on Amazon sometimes and you end up on some other website, like they'll link to it. Are you going to do that so that these companies can participate without it hurting their own website?
They will have, first of all, we're doing everything for the community. If this is the way to go, we will go there. I think that the best for them, the problem with mom and pop shop is that sometimes they're doing beautiful and excellent products, but they are not marketing people. And everything today is about marketing. So we tell that to the small, actually we call them cute sellers, not to insult them, not small sellers, but the mom and pops. And we tell them, listen, bring your products on our website and it's going to be a stage for you and we're going to promote you. So actually their sales going to soar because it's going to be a huge presence of their products in the largest vegan marketplace in the world. So I think that it's a win-win situation.
So Amira St. John says, looking at your website now, where do I find how to invest?
There is probably a banner that says invest in a vegan future or something.
There it is. Invest in a company that shares your values. I got this right off the website. And at the very bottom, it says invest now, where that little, here, I'll take your comment off and you'll see that there it is, invest now, right there. So I found that right on the website. Just go to the website and you can become an investor if you want right this second.
Well, again, it's not an investor. It's being a part of the Billion Vegan family. It's being a partner. It's not an investment like you invest in other companies that are you buying shares. I think it's different. I think they will be part of the family. They're going to be heard. We're going to listen to them. Again, it's not our company. It's the community's company. And they should drive it. They should decide. And they should be part of the success. And I think this is it shouldn't be otherwise, especially, and again, the vegan community, I think, is unlike anything else I encountered in my life. Because it's like a religion, but a good one. It's like everybody has his own path. It's only doing good. I think that in 20 years, the world going to go vegan. Again, I have some kind of a crisis a few months ago, because when I started, it was like an impossible mission. And people who knows me know how to motivate me. They tell me, listen, it's impossible. This is exactly the company I'm trying to start. And this is exactly what I did. A few months ago, I understood, again, people like Bruce Friedrich, for instance, I listened to him, and the meat alternatives, the minute they're going to be the same, the better quality, consistency, variety. But when the price is going to drop below the prices of the meat, I think it's going to be a tipping point, and people are going to become vegan, not because of ethics, not because of health, not because of sustainability, because of the cost of living. And again, one of the things that we curve on our flag is to make veganism much more affordable. In the States, for instance, it's much more expensive to become vegan. In Israel, by the way, it's not. Maybe this is an answer to your question before, because the vegetables here are very good and very cheap. But in the States, being vegan is actually more expensive, and it shouldn't be that way.
Well, just not to play devil's advocate, but it really depends on what vegan. You can buy a sack of potatoes and a head of cabbage and eat very well for an entire week. It's the choice of what vegan product. Sure, you can also go to a fancy vegan restaurant and spend $500 on an evening. But I do think that there's a very cheap way to eat if you eat strictly vegetables. And so that is something that, I think that the meat and dairy industry tries to market veganism as some sort of effete, elitist choice that is only for wealthy people living in like the East Village or Greenwich Village and Venice. And it's really not true. I travel all over the world I was just in Hilton Head, South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia. There's vegan restaurants popping up in Texas. It's a global movement. And I was just in Berlin, which is like a vegan city. East Berlin is just totally, it's like I thought I was dreaming. And so I also think I'm dreaming when I hear about billion vegans. I'm so excited. I can't tell you how thrilled I am.
In 10 years, when you wake into a dream, because I tell you that the number of vegans is going to be so so high, and the vegan availability going to be so big, and yeah, it's a dream, but it's a dream that comes true.
Okay, I have a couple of more questions. We only have a couple more minutes. I know you gave me a half an hour. So what I wanted to ask you is, have you talked to any big business people who are not necessarily vegans, but they kind of they have the lay of the land, they know which way the wind blows? What feedback are you getting from the business community?
A few years ago, I was into the medical cannabis business, and I came across a lot of agtech, and food tech. And back then, it was not sexy, and investors didn't want to actually listen about it. Nowadays, every investor I approach, or just talking about the food tech, the vegan movement, they listen. They think that there's a major upside for them as business. Again, they don't care about veganism. They care about their money. And this is exactly what we should do as a vegan community. We should make those capitalists, it's fine, out of sheer greed, to be aligned with our motivations, with our goals. And this is the case, I think. I think it's happening. A lot of, and I know many venture capital that actually started a food tech or ag tech department in their fund, and started to promote things that in many cases are totally vegan, like all the alternative protein, all the cultured meat, all the alternatives. They see it as a business, a legitimate business, a business that's gonna shift hands in 2 decades, like $100 billion going to be shift hands from the current traditional industry into new tech-driven technologies, companies. And I think that it's happening. And again, it's like a snowball. It starts slowly, and you and me are going to meet in 5 years, and we won't believe what's going to happen.
Well, listen, I want to meet you before 5 years. I want to interview you again when you move to LA and profile your headquarters and stay on top of this, because I have to tell you, you give me hope for the world. I have tears in my eyes because, you know, every morning I wake up and say, when's it going to end? When is all this carnage and this unnecessary violence going to end? And protesting is not enough. We have to offer a better alternative, which is what Dr. Salesh Rao of PreventYourZero.org is preaching. He was instrumental in the development of the internet. He worked with Al Gore, and then he split from Al Gore because Al Gore wouldn't discuss animal agriculture. And he's now working to get a vegan world by 2026 in 8 years. He calls that year zero, because that's the year when all the wildlife vertebrates will disappear if we don't do something to stop the destruction of all the forests to grow crops to feed 74 billion animals who eat a lot more food than they produce as meat or dairy. So I see what you're doing dovetailing absolutely perfectly with what he's trying to accomplish. And I just am filled with hope today. I'm filled with hope, and I know you're getting so many incredible comments here. Veganism is catching on. Eventually, we will get to the tipping point. Yes, and that's from BJ Vegan. So I want to thank you so much, Alon. You seriously give me hope for the human race and for our planet. I have tears in my eyes thinking about this.
Actually, I should thank you, because again, you're doing it for many years, and I'm only 2 years old as a vegan. And one of the things that motivates me is the fact that I have to compensate for 54 years of being a stupid asshole and eating animals. And I have a lot, sorry, my French, but I have a lot to compensate on, and this is exactly what I'm doing.
Well, everybody, get busy with Billion Vegans. Check it out. There's a website, billionvegans.com. It is filled with all sorts of fascinating information. And we have had the honor of talking to the CEO, Alon Hochberg. Thank you, sir. And we'll get there. We're almost at the tipping point. Let's tip it.
Let's tip it. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.